I'm tired. It is the end of March 2022. Korea just passed the height of its pandemic. Korea had basically done a great job of holding off the pandemic up until maybe January 2022. So like almost 2 full years, keeping daily virus counts below 5,000 a day. And at the time, we didn't really appreciate how good that was. I mean, if there's like 300 new cases a day in the whole country, out of a country of over 50 million people, you are statistically unlikely to come across anybody who has it. Although I guess, in the first year there weren't vaccines and the wild type was more lethal and dangerous. I mean, I was still going to buffets every week. Korea was comparatively a little late on the vaccine front, but we eventually caught up, and I guess our rates are better than some other countries like the US. Maybe over 80% of the entire population has been double vaxxed. I think it's over 60% has had their booster. I've had 3, I'm good. 10 days ago, Korea hit its highest point of over 600,000 new cases in a single day. If you compared it to every other country per capita, might have set a record, but that's because so few people had been infected for the almost the entirety of the pandemic. And also Omicron is more transmissible and infectious, but also the daily death counts have been relatively low. Like the death per capita is still like ridiculously low. So even though it's been sort of hellish here for the past 2 months, people aren't really dying and there aren't that many serious cases. So it's terrible and also not that terrible. Personally, I just don't like getting normal colds. It makes sleeping harder. You feel lethargic throughout the day. Either you don't have enough energy to exercise or you can't because you're coughing and sneezing. I don't like that kind of disruption to my regular life, and I would prefer not to get Omicron. I mean, I think the big worry is about the lasting infections that don't go away. Like, I knew someone who I guess had lasting effects for 6 months. She got infected really early, like in March 2020, but like her cough and sort of relative breathlessness lasted until September 2020, which sounds horrible. But the numbers are starting to go down, not fast enough, but they're heading down. So that's been kind of exhausting. I visited New York at the end of November 2021 and through December. Like literally a couple days after I got there, there were reports about the discovery of Omicron. So it, the whole winter spike hadn't happened yet, and it was about to happen right as I was leaving. I mean, one good thing about Korea is that almost everyone is wearing masks and almost everyone is wearing them correctly or close enough. In the US though, oh boy, like this one deli that I really like to go to, which was also close to home, the entire staff never wore masks, and most of the clientele did not wear masks. In the local mall, it depended. Some stores, all the employees wore masks, and some of the shoppers. One thing that I could not understand, so masks were not mandated in New York, especially not at that time. And I saw people in the mall wearing masks below their nose. If you don't have to, why are you doing it but doing it incorrectly? You gotta commit to one or the other. I have a lot of footage from my time in New York, which I think I will upload. Another reason I'm exhausted is because, so when I got back to Korea, there was a 10-day quarantine period, which was also my first taste of ordering delivery food. And now that I have, I can say that it's super easy and super dangerous. When you order delivery, you don't have to walk anywhere. You don't have to do anything. After you eat, you're still sitting inside. So after my quarantine period ended, I went back hard at the gym because that was a lot of sitting at home by myself, not being able to walk anywhere. I guess that's kind of it. If you see more videos on this channel, consider it a miracle or a gift or whatever.